Good day, guys. It's good to see you guys and all your smiling faces back at my channel once again. And today's topic is a bit different. It's a conversation I had on WhatsApp with a good friend of mine for years, and he had a few questions that he was asking me, particularly about the vlogs that I've been doing. But we'll talk a bit about that. The topic for today, though, is your successes are not real. Yeah, I said it. Roll the intro. So your successes are not real, and I think that boggles your minds a bit. And this is a question. In fact, it's a discussion that I had with a friend of mine today. So we're on WhatsApp chatting. It's like your social quarantine, social distancing, and blah blah blah. You name it. And I'm hanging at home. So this friend of mine sends me a message, and we're having a bit of a talk. And he says, "Hey, listen, I've been following your vlogs for the past couple of weeks." But my issue with it really is, you know what, dude? I watch your vlogs and I wish I could do stuff like that. He's also into photography and videography, by the way. So like, I wish I could do stuff like that. He does a lot of more like wedding photography and wedding videography. He says, hey, listen, I love what you do, and I've been trying to do it myself, but I just can't seem to get in front of the camera. I'm a behind the camera guy. And I'm like, no, look, dude, it takes practice. I guess it's talking to yourself on camera is always a challenge, and I'm not the only one who's facing this challenge. So many out there are facing it. But what he's particularly concerned about, he had a few questions earlier. In fact, I just have to refer to the WhatsApp conversation because this conversation was going crazy. He says, dude, listen, how come you seem to be able to do what you do very well, and everything seems flawless? It seems like things are working your way, companies are sponsoring your ads and blah blah blah, and we're having this conversation, and I'm saying, dude, it is not even like that. He's like, no, it sure seems like it. And he says, I never see you struggling, I never see you crying about the issue. You're living in Zimbabwe, and Zimbabwe's economic challenges, but I don't see you complaining about it. And this is my response. I say to him, look, dude, the issue is this: we all have our struggles. This is social media, and there is no way that I am going to be posting certain things that don't relate to the goals that I'm trying to achieve. I have my struggles just as much as you do, just as much as he does, but I'm not likely going to come here to whine and cry about the things that we're experiencing. I just don't see the point of it. And so he goes on to say, look, another thing is, like, I never get to see your wife on your vlogs. This is some of the questions that I get asked on my inbox sometimes. And I'm like, okay, look at it, this dude. You don't get to see my wife on social media and stuff like that, on the vlogs that I do, because she's my wife. That's exactly what it is. And there's certain things, I think, there's certain boundaries that we fail to draw, especially when we become social media people and we talk to the whole lot of people, and we forget that there are certain boundaries that you need to maintain as yourself. I think the challenge of social media these days is too many people overshare their lives on social media, and I just don't get it. Well, maybe it's just me, but I feel there are boundaries that we all have to adhere to, and this is some of those things. And so I don't share my wife on social media because she's my wife. In fact, she sees this as a job. She sees me do this, and she actually sometimes assists me to set up and everything. But you will not see her in front of the camera because it's not her kind of things. Apart from which, she's my wife. So yeah, that's some of those things. He goes on to say, your successes. How is it that you seem to be quite successful in all you do? And I'm like, well, you see, look here, dude. Success is relative. Success is relative. We all have our goals and perceptions about things that we are trying to achieve in life. And from the way I see it is, I just do me. I love doing this. I will do this whether there's 1 view or 50 million views. It's what I love doing, and right now I've been given the space to do it, and therefore, because I can't go see my usual clients and I'm doing a lot of social media content for them, I actually have a lot of time on my hands to do all this. So yeah, you find that you will find me here. So these are some of the things I think we in this era that we're living in, we over socialize things that I feel are not necessarily social. That's the argument that I always have. I look at a lot of people who to some extent they've got hundreds of thousands of followers on their Instagram or on their Facebook or whoever, And my question that I always ask them, especially when I go through their profiles, is this a business? Is this a social area? What is it to you? And they just love to have people around them. And I think that's the scenario we have with a whole lot of people on social media. And we forget that social media in itself is a business. I use it as a business. I monetize everything that I do. So when I'm doing stuff, it's totally because apart from the fact that I enjoy it, I feel that there's no point getting 100,000 followers if you cannot monetize them. I don't see what the point is. And some people may look at it and say, yes, because my social media sites are monetized and I make money out of them and I make a living out of it, and they've got more followers and yet they don't make a cent out of it. And that's where my question always is we over socialize things. I mean, look at it this way. Before social media, would you ever go and tell your friend that I was in the loo just now? I'm just going to the loo, or you're on the phone and you're talking about that. There's certain things that you just don't communicate on social media. You don't go into the loo and take photos of yourself because it's not necessary. That means there are boundaries that are naturally set for communicating with people out there, and sometimes we just fail to draw these boundaries. So I'm thinking about it and saying, yeah, when it comes to my social media, I know where my limits are. I know where I start and where I end, and why I'm doing it, because everything is clearly mapped out and I know which goals I'm trying to achieve. He also then goes on to say, I'm struggling, dude. He says, quote and I quote, dude, I'm having so much trouble trying to monetize a whole lot of the things that I'm doing. So I'm barely making ends meet and I am struggling. And I said to him, dude, just because, and I'm going to tell you exactly the same thing, just because you're struggling doesn't mean you are not succeeding. Let's get that straight. Because people see the fame when they look on people's social media sites. They see the Benzes, they see the houses, they see all those little things that you see people post that you're rocking it. Yeah, I'm living the life kind of thing. Everybody tends to do that on social media, and people go on social media and that's all you see, and therefore you tend to get a self-perception that you're not succeeding like these people are succeeding, and the message to you is you are a failure. Now, I'd like to tell you this, that there is no success without a struggle. And everybody who posts whatever it is they're posting on Facebook, don't take it at face value. There is a struggle behind it. I'm struggling. Let me put it that straight. I'm struggling just like you are struggling. Just like any other person is struggling. And these are things that we need to take note of, that life is a struggle. But to succeed is to go through that struggle. So if you're not struggling, then it's something that you're definitely not doing right, because we're all struggling. I just thought I should share this with you because this was a pretty interesting conversation. And thanks a lot, my guy, for coming through and talking to me about. Now, if you have got questions that you'd like me to answer, that you feel need some answers, I'm here. I'm here to just talk about it, because the struggle is real. I understand it. But I do know that the success of your struggles are sweeter than the struggles themselves. So yeah, you'll find me here all the time chit-chatting, because that's what I do. And guys, I know that we have just less than a week left. 6 days it is, officially anyway. But, and I will throw this message out there because I talked about this with a friend of mine as well, that just because the quarantine is going to be over in 6 days does not mean COVID-19, coronavirus, is over. We need to still maintain and take care of ourselves just as if it is live in our community, because it probably is. This whole 3 weeks period was simply put out there so that we could weed out any people that might have contracted it before, and we just want to see who has been affected. So please still stay at home. If you've got absolutely nothing to do in the CBD, if you've got nothing to do with your friends, still keep your social distance. That is the best preventative. Did I say preventative? Yeah, I did. That is the best preventative. I said it right. Best preventative way of protecting yourself. So please keep yourself distant, social distance. Wash your hands with soap and water for 20 seconds, at least 20 seconds. If you want to go for a minute, go for it. It's all good, my guy. And I will definitely see you in the next one. Loud 5 out. It's been a pleasure. talking to you, and I'll see you tomorrow. Otherwise, see you. Oh, but by the way, guys, I almost forgot. Please hit the like button, leave a comment below, subscribe to the channel, and yeah, I'll see you the next one. I'm gone. I'm gone for real this time. See ya. See ya.